Okay. Hello, hello. See, I get myself unmuted. Okay. Hello, hello, everyone. Trying something new here, but it looks like I'm not going to be going live. I'll just have to put the recording on inside the Facebook group after the fact. So, a couple of iterations, not working. I might as well just put the recording after the fact. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So hello, everyone. Today's live session is going to be great. We are going to talk about how to pick your first stock. So I am Myrna Lane Hippolyte, your investing coach, your wealth creation strategist, and I have helped a lot of women become active investors in the stock market. So if you are here, if you're listening to this after the fact, you're ready to take your investing game to the next level, I really, really love to see that. So here I am. We're going to talk about how to pick your first stock. So before we actually dive in, let me know in the comments if you're listening to this live inside the Zoom or if you are listening to the replay. So if you're currently investing in stocks, drop a yes for me in the chat. And if you are not yet, then also let me know, right? And if you're ready to learn, let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you are out there listening, share this live with a friend who needs to hear it, because we're actually out here, we're building wealth together over here. So I want you to share this with a friend, because I know I'm having some tech issues here in terms of getting it into the group. So before we begin, I have to give you the legalese. So I'm not an investment advisor. And the information that I'm going to share during this live session is for educational and informational purposes only. All investing obviously involves some risk. So you have to consult a professional and do your own research before you make your financial decisions. And past performance doesn't necessarily mean the same thing's going to happen in the future. So you have to invest wisely and at your own discretion. So now that we've gotten the legalese out of the way, why does picking the right stocks actually matters? So there has to be a wealth mindset shift, right? So we got to talk about something critical. Investing in the stock market isn't about chasing hype or picking stocks based on someone else's opinion. So let's say you made an investment, right? And your Uncle Joey said, hey, I got a hot stock pick for you. And you're going to invest in that. You might potentially lose your money, right? Because you're not making a wise decision. So I'm talking to you. If you're listening to your Uncle Joey, it's all about making those strategic financial decisions that align with your financial goals. So what can picking the right stocks help you do? They can help you grow your wealth over time. They can also help you beat inflation, right? And increase your purchasing power. So we've heard all about these tariffs, these upcoming tariffs. We had a pause on them today, a lot of activity. You want to be able to increase your actual purchasing power and beat inflation. That's important. Stocks can help you do that. Now, you also want to avoid emotional, fear-based decisions that can cost you money. So we know that the stock market, kind of went down and fell swoop, and then the tariffs were paused and everything went up. So you want to be able to avoid those emotional decisions when it comes to investing in the stock market. I don't believe in gambling. I don't. But I do believe in investing with purpose. And so today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to choose stocks with confidence. If you're ready, put let's go in the chat. Like I said, share this live with your friends, anybody who really needs to hear this, because I'm going to go into the details and drop some gems in terms of how to actually choose some stocks with confidence. So step number one, All right, let's go. Understand what you own. So you've got to invest in what you know. First things first. A lot of times people tend to overlook the companies that they interact with every single day. Do you shop at Amazon or Walmart? I know I have a Amazon shopping habit. I don't know about you, but I got a shopping habit and it's bad with Amazon. It's very convenient though. If they've mastered that model. Do you use an iPhone or an Android? Are you getting your coffee from Starbucks? Are you getting your donuts from Krispy Kreme? These companies that are behind the brands, they're publicly traded stocks. And guess what? If you're spending the money with them, you might as well own a piece of them. And that's essentially what stock is, ownership in part of a company. So you want to start to look at your spending habits through the lens of an investor, not just a consumer. Yes, you love your latte, you have the latte, but you can also invest and become an investor in the Starbucks. So that's step number one, looking at companies around you, things that you use. Step number two is checking the company's financial health. So the numbers actually do matter. So knowing the brand isn't enough. You've really got to check the company's financial health. Now you're going to tell me, Myrna, I am not a financial analyst. I'm not going to pour over balance sheet statements. You don't have to. So here are a quick few things that you can look for. One, revenue and profit growth. That's easy, right? Is the company consistently making money over time? Look at the trend over time. If it's a decline, not a good sign. If it's going on the up and up, good sign. Number two, does the company reward investors with dividends? So dividends is a way for companies to share their profits with you. So you can find out if a company has dividends very easily on and about their financial information, revenue, and profit growth on sites like Yahoo Finance, CNBC. I tell all my clients to download the CNBC app. It's life-changing and it can help you really understand what's happening with the market without going into a lot of details, but it gives you highlights. You can also find the information on a company's investor relations page. So all public companies have an investor relations page that's just for investors that invest in their company. So you can find out information there. So if the company's numbers are financially strong, that could be a green light. That could be an indicator for you to want to invest. So we've talked about step number one, right? Which is companies that you look at, companies that you know. Number two is looking at a company's financial health. Now, step number three is to know the industry and the market trends, but you want to think about this long term. So you want to consider where the company fits into the market and also where the industry is actually heading. So if I look at, let's just say the beauty industry as an example. A few years ago, we were looking more at traditional makeup brands. They were dominating the market, but there's been a shift, right? There's been a shift towards potentially clean beauty and skincare focused brands like Fenty Skin. So ask yourself questions like, are more consumers demanding clean, sustainable products? Which companies are actually leading this trend? Are there companies that can't keep up, that are going to be left in the dust? When you look at companies like Kmart and Sears, where are they? They used to dominate. They're no longer here. Kmart and Sears are gone. So by spotting trends early, you can actually invest in companies that are positioned for long-term growth instead of those that are going to lose market share over time. So that's where a little bit of research comes in. So you got to do a little research, not a lot, just a little bit, understand. And a lot of it based on how you use the products, you'll have an understanding. So for example, do I think Amazon is here to stay? I think so. I think there's some longevity there. They've been able to pivot during COVID and they have a good business model. So that's just an example. Now let's move on to step number 4. So you want to evaluate where a company is in terms of its pricing. You don't want to overpay. So the same way you wouldn't buy a designer handbag at double the price if you knew it would be on sale next month, you wouldn't buy it, right? So the same logic actually applies to stocks. So I'm just going to give you two metrics that you want to look at. One, you look at a stock's 52-week high and low. Is it at an all-time high over the last 52 weeks, or is there actually some room for growth? It's just looking at the price of the stock. Second, you want to look at the stock history over 5 years, 10 years. Has the stock been trending up? If that company is going down, if it's been in a downward spiral, you don't want to get in there, because you can have a good stock, but if you buy it at the wrong price, it can still be a bad investment. So timing does matter, but if you're investing for the long term, you're less sensitive to that, right? Because it's a company that's going to be there for the long term. Last step is you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's the golden rule. Don't put all your money in one stock, because even the best companies can go through rough patches. So if anybody's heard me, if you've heard me at all over the last year or so, you've heard me talk about NVIDIA. I love that stock. I love the company. It's made some money for me. It's made money for my clients. Well, at least on paper, where we have it sold, right? So it's a good company. But if you've been following the news, there's been some Chinese competition, DeepSeek, that seems to imply that what they're doing, they can get to some of the AI technology at a much cheaper rate, right? And so that has put some pressure on NVIDIA. If you had all of your eggs in the NVIDIA basket, right, that would not work well. That would not work well, because then you'd be hurting. But if you don't have all your eggs in one basket, then if NVIDIA goes down, it's okay, because you have other sectors that are doing fine. So a good way or a good place to look for beginning investors are what we call exchange traded funds. And those are essentially a basket mix of plenty of stocks, right? If you have one that mirrors the S&P 500, that's over 500 stocks. So you can smooth things out and balance things out over time. So you want to be able to diversify, which means mix it up. Don't put everything in one basket. That is key when you're starting off. Even when you're a seasoned investor, you learn that, because even good investments sometimes can go through rough patches, like NVIDIA is going through right now. So I know that was a lot in terms of gems. This is less a short live, but you should be feeling a little bit more confident about picking stocks now, right? So let's recap. We have one, why picking the right stocks is important. We know that it helps you build wealth, it helps you build inflation, and helps you establish that legacy, right? You want to be able to have your money work hard for you, not the reverse. So you got to invest in what you know. That's number one. We talked about investing in what you know, because you'll have a better feel for how those companies are going to be doing. Because if you're investing in things you don't know, then it's harder for you to be able to follow the stock and know when you're supposed to pivot. Step number two, we talked about checking the company's financial health. That's important. Check on the revenue growth. Is the company growing their sales? Is the company growing their profits? Does the company share their profits with you? Do they have enough to share with you, as in dividends? That's important. Check on that. Number three, know the industry. What's going on in the long term, right? What's the long-term prospects? Is this company going to be around in the next 15, 20 years? And then you want to evaluate where the stock is. You don't want to buy it at a high. You don't want to overpay for the stock. And then last, we talked about managing your risks by not putting all your eggs in one basket. So those are 5 key things that will help you in picking the right stocks, in picking your first stock. So If you found this live interesting, I'm going to ask you to share it. I'm going to put it inside the Facebook group, and I'm also going to put it on YouTube. Smart Investing with Myrna is the channel. I want to keep the wealth conversation going. So in order to do that, if you're ready really to take the next step when it comes to your investing journey, I want to extend my invitation to you to join my Investing 101 program. This is a program that will get you from not investing, not being active in the market, to becoming an actual active investor. That's what this program is going to do. So the program, you can start at any time. So as soon as you sign up, you'll get to start the program. And it's 5 modules. And what really makes my program different is the fact that we have an implementation call. And the implementation call means that we work together so that you can get comfortable with your investments and that you can start investing, that you're actually doing something at the end of the day. At the end of the program, you come out the other side being an active investor. That's what I want for you listening right now. That's what I want for us as women to be able to leverage the stock market as an avenue to build wealth. So if you are interested in learning more about this investing program that's going to get you on the fast track to growing your money, we want to be able to build that wealth and not keep our money in sleepy savings accounts. Savings accounts have their purpose, right? But you also want to grow your money in the stock market. So if you are interested in learning more, send me a DM me the word invest, and I will send you all of the details. So I want us to keep investing, start investing, keep the wealth conversation going. So stay smart, keep investing, and have a good night, everybody. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.